Black Hat. Hollister studied the old map. It had been folded and tucked inside a book on ghost towns he had found at a yard sale. There was one ghost town called Almost. The ghost town must be somewhere around here. It's just that all the major highways were rerouted and now go past Almost. Almost was never much of a town, though in its day the stagecoach made a regular stop for deliveries and mail. But there have been a few saloons with dance hall girls, a sheriff, and a deputy in a small jail. Local church replete with tombstones, a barber shop, and a local doctor and schoolhouse. There were cattlemen, ranchers, desperados, and rustlers, all passing through in their own good time. Hollister, having discovered that Almost should be nearby, set out to explore the town for himself. Exiting the highway, he proceeded down dusty trails and dirt roads until he had thought he had completely turned himself around. But then there was a light ahead, a single white bulb over a sign that read, "Almost There Emporium." He pulled in, seeing that there wasn't any sign of life outside, exited his car, and entered the shop. The old gun felt great in his hand. The holster slipped around his waist, with slots for extra bullets on each side to be embedded in the leather. How old was this technology? Straight out of the Old West, I should guess. He leaned out the swinging doors of the hotel and passed outside into the midday sun. 2 horses were tied up nearby. He could smell the pungent odor of them. Must have been driven hard. The road wasn't paved, just hard pan dirt compressed by people and horses and carts. "Hey, you there, Sidewinder." Sidewinder? That was a new one, thought Hollister. That's just another way of calling me a snake. "I'm talking to you, boy. We're not afraid of you. As a matter of fact, I'm making it my business to call you out. Heard you were fast once. Well, let's see what you got left." "Now listen here, stranger. I don't know who you are. I just came into town. I got no beef with you." "Listen to this, Charlie. He says he's got no beef with me, and he's the great Black Bart. Well, what's so great about you? In case you forgot, I will remind you. You are a ruthless killer. Cut down many in your day. Got a price in your head now. Wanted dead or alive. I intend to take you in. And in case you're wondering, I prefer you dead." "What if I tell you you're mistaken? What if I tell you I am a school teacher? Came to town yesterday, found this old gun and holster at the Emporium up the road. Never shot a gun in my entire life." "So you're a complete innocent. Well, how do you explain the hat?" Hollister reached up and touched the hat. The storekeeper said it looked good on him. "Made to measure," were his exact words. He knew a sales pitch when he heard one. He purchased it anyways. Looking at it in the mirror, he admired himself and walked out with it on his head. "I got this old hat, the same place I got the holster and gun. The storekeeper said it drew it all together." "Uh-huh, if that's what you want to play at. But let me tell you one thing, Sidewinder. There ain't another man in this county who owns a black hat. A black hat is a sign of disrespect to all law-abiding folks. Take off that hat. Show the world what a true coward Black Bart is, and maybe I'll let you walk out of here with the laughter of town folks ringing in your ears." Hollister felt a twinge of resistance. It would be crazy to get into a gunfight, especially if he didn't know whether the gun was in working order. He reached down, pulled out the gun, twirled the barrel, and heard a series of clicks. Pushed his hat back to get the brim out of his eyes and stared down his opponent. He moved into the street, and people scattered to keep out of the way. "Now you let me tell you something, fresh-faced Pete. Guys like me, we chew up and spit out guys like you every day. You want your reward? What you'll get is your final reward. A one-way ticket to eternity. You better go home and say goodbye to your mother, 'cause you're not coming this way again. When I see her, I'll give her my condolences and tell how hell-bent you were on dying, and I didn't want to disappoint you. Black Bart, every boy who's fast with a gun dreams of the day they lay you in the ground. Then we get to wear the black hat, become known as the fastest gun in the West, make grown men shiver just to see us go by. Fresh-faced Pete, I think I'd like that. That's what I'm going to call you. You know how old this hat is? It's more than 100 years old. I guess people should stop to think about that. It means it stayed on my head undisturbed for 100 years. Nobody has been able to dethrone me in all that time. I don't even have room for another notch in the holster. You started out saying you were a school teacher. Now you're saying you are Black Bart. Just who are you? The evidence is before you. This is Black Bart's hat, isn't it? These are Black Bart's guns, aren't they? I got them on, haven't I? I'll leave you to draw your own conclusion, but don't draw them too slow. A murmur ran through the crowd. Black Bart widened his stance, his arms stretched out on either side of his revolvers. He narrowed his eyes in the sun. A voice rang out, "Don't do it, Black Bart." I know that voice. It's the shopkeeper's. I made a mistake. I sold you the wrong hat. You're not supposed to have that hat. Black Bart's eyes grew fierce, turned kind of a reddish yellow, people say, with a deep, penetrating stare. The storekeeper snatched the black hat off Black Bart's head. He instantly returned to his old self. The street was clear. Only the storekeeper remained. "You okay?" "Yeah, I guess so. Where's Fresh-Faced Pete?" "Mister, people see all kinds when they come here. Depends on the costume they buy. Next time, I might suggest the doctor's outfit or the sheriff. But whatever you do, don't come out here alone." Hollister laughed. He grabbed the black hat. He didn't feel a thing as the bullet passed between his eyes. He didn't feel himself hit the dirt face first. Fresh-Faced Pete reached for the hat. The Emporium owner stepped on his hand before he could reach it. "Tour's over, sonny boy. I'll take possession of these." He held both white and black hat in his hand. Hollister opened his eyes. Both him and Fresh-Faced Pete climbed into the back of the cart and were delivered to almost their Emporium. Hollister looked at his young companion. "Where are you going to?" "There's supposed to be a ghost town near here, but every time I try to get there, I always seem to end up back here." "Same thing happens to me also." Hollister read the sign under the one lone bulb. Almost their Emporium. "There sure is something strange about this place.